Hey, welcome to this video. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm Vijay Kailash. I run a hedge fund specializing in income producing strategies for accredited investors. And on today's video, we're going to talk about how you can generate income using stocks that you already own. So let's jump into it. So in previous videos, we talked about something known as call options and put options. Today, we're going to focus specifically on call options. So as a quick refresher, a call option, remember, there's always a buyer and a seller of a call option. The call option buyer, they have the right, but not the obligation, to buy 100 shares of a certain stock at a certain price on or before an expiration. So this is from the buyer's perspective. Now, remember, with options or in any market, there's always a buyer and there's always a seller, or else there won't be a market. So this is what traditionally people usually do. They buy a call option and it gives them the right to buy 100 shares at a certain price. Now, let's look at the seller's perspective. So this is the call from the seller's perspective. So if the buyer has a right to buy 100 shares, this means the seller is obligated to sell 100 shares. Remember, they're the exact opposite sides of the trade. So the buyer of the call option, they have the right to buy 100 shares. That means the seller who sold this call option, they're obligated to sell 100 shares at a certain price on or before the expiration date. And these two, because they're the exact same contract, or they're on the opposite sides of the trade, it is the exact same price for both of these and the same expiration dates. Now, let's look at an example so you can generate income using stocks that you already own. So let's say a stock that you already own, you bought it at $100 and you want to sell it at 105. I know for long-term investing, you shouldn't be trying to make 5% here and there, but just for hypothetical numbers, right? You do with this however you'd like to execute these positions, but just for simplicity and for hypothetical situations, let's say you want to sell it at 105. Now, there's a few ways you can go about this. You can go ahead and just wait for the market to go up. And then once it hits 105, you can click sell market order and basically the shares will get sold in the open market at 105. A second alternative is to place a limit order. So you can place a limit order at 105. And if the stock doesn't go to 105, it won't get sold, but that limit order still exists. So the moment the stock goes to 105, the limit order converts into a market order and sells it basically on the spot to the person buying the stock. Now, third option is what we're going to talk about. This is how you can actually generate income while you wait for the stock to go up. So the example which you just talked about right now is through the limit order side. You place a limit at 105, and if the stock doesn't go to 105, the limit order stays active. But the moment it breaches 105, that limit converts into a market order, and then your shares get sold in the open market for the best available price. That is the way most people do it. Now let's look at a more sophisticated way for you to make money while you wait for the stock to go up. So all this stuff up here that I talked about is not just for fun. I mean, it is for fun, I enjoy it, but we're actually gonna talk about call options and how we can utilize call options to generate income. So this again is the first example. Now let's look at from a call options perspective on how to execute this strategy. So the stock again is trading at 100. Now at 105, instead of putting a limit order, you could sell a call option at the 105 strike price. If you sold a call option, what happens? Let's look at this definition right up here. So you become obligated to sell 100 shares at a certain price, which is this 105 at the expiration date. So why is this better than just doing a limit order? It's because let's say the stock never goes to 105 by the expiration date. That means you would just keep the premium that you generated from selling the call option. However, if the stock does go past 105, that means you become obligated to sell the stock at 105. But remember, that's what you wanted to do anyways. In this example right here, you're willing to put a limit order to sell it at 105. In this example, you are getting paid just to wait for it to go to 105. And so let's look at a few different examples of what can happen with this strategy. So again, the stock right now is trading at $100. You want to sell it at 105. And you sold a call option. And because you sold this call option, remember, there's a market, there's always a buyer and a seller. The person who bought the call option from you paid you a premium. And why did they pay you a premium? It's because as a buyer, they want to have the right, but not the obligation, to buy the stock from you at 105. However, there is a time limit for that right. And let's say in this example, it's 30 days. So in 30 days, if the stock doesn't go to 105, that contract expires worthless, and you, as the seller, get to keep this entire premium, which is incredible. So let's say the stock goes to 105, you are obligated to sell it at 105, the stock. However, if the stock stays below 105, that means you get to keep the premium. And the cool thing is that you're basically waiting just to sell the stock at a higher price, and someone is paying you just to wait. Let's say the stock goes down in price. Now it's trading at $95. This means, yes, you took a $5 unrealized loss. However, let's say you made a $2 premium by selling this call option. That means this $5 unrealized loss is actually only a $3 loss because the premium offsets some of that loss. And so by doing this, even if the market goes down, you're going to outperform someone who had just held the stock outright. And when the market goes up, you become obligated to sell it at a high price. So no matter what happens, you're basically lowering your volatility and you get to profit just to wait for the market to go up. And if it doesn't go up, you get to collect this income and you sell another call option. So no matter what happens, you get paid. If the market goes up, great, you become obligated to sell it at a higher price. If the market goes down, that's okay because you're actually doing better than someone who had just bought the stock outright. Now, let's talk about what happens if the call option expires and what you can do. Let's say you sell a call option at 105. Now, for doing that, you get to collect a premium. Now, at expiration, let's say in 30 days, is stock trading above 105. This is so important because if the stock was trading above 105, that means you become obligated to sell stock at 105. However, if the answer is no, that's great. That means you could sell another call option and you get to collect more money. And then you ask yourself, is the stock trading above the strike price that you sold the new call option at? If the answer is no, you can go back and you can sell another call option. So you stay in this loop over and over again until eventually the stock does go above the strike price, at which point you become obligated to sell the stock. Think about all the income that you were generating during this period. It's literally cash, which you can take out of your brokerage account and use to buy groceries. It's actual cash. However, I don't recommend doing that. I recommend keeping your income in your brokerage account to continue growing your account. Now, do you see why I love this strategy so much? It's such a great way to collect income just to wait for the market to go up. And once it goes up, that means you have the cash again to buy the stock again and sell some more call options and collect more income. Either the market goes up, market goes down, it doesn't really matter because you're collecting all this income. I think that pretty much wraps up the high levels of this covered call video. If you guys have any questions, leave a question below and I'd be more than happy to answer. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so I can provide more value to you. Again, reach out if you guys have any questions. I'd be more than happy to help in any way I can. Hope you guys have a great day. Hey, it's VJ Kailash. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit subscribe so that way we can provide more value to you. After subscribing, check out some of these other videos. You might like them. Lastly, in the comments of this video, let us know what you liked about this video, what we can improve on, if you have any questions on the content on this video, and lastly, what you want to learn so we can provide more value to you. Again, thank you for watching and helping us with our mission of promoting financial literacy in this world.